very familiar with this. So in place of seminar, we have started this webinar. So webinar also there, but nowadays it's very popular term as because physical these different type of seminar and conference are not possible to attend now. That's why we have arranged different type of webinars. Today's we will start with very simple topic which is known as fundamentals of digital image processing. I have prepared these slides as simple as I can so that every student can understand a little bit, because there is an amalgam of students, different departments are there, different students are there from different institute. So I will just try to present this as simple as I can. Students, do you have any idea that what do you mean by this image processing and why it is required? Can you tell me? Anyone can respond? Can you tell me what do you mean by image or digital image, or why digital image processing is required? Okay, I should
To
move on.
enhance the image quality.
Very,
That's
very good.
why digital image processing is required.
Yes, very good. You have attempted and you have also presented a very good answer. Okay, so before starting, I will just give my introduction. Myself, Kaushik Pal, Assistant Professor of Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology, an autonomous institute from Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, formerly known as West Bengal University of Technology. So today we will start with these three very simple questions and we will try to find out the answer of this. First one is, what is digital image? Then what is digital image processing? And then why image processing is required. So first one is the term image. What do you mean by image? Image is a concept which is stored in our mind, isn't that? You can show a picture, you can show any type of photograph, but what about image? Image is that type which may be treated as virtual. How? Suppose if I ask you, can you remember or what is the color of Taj Mahal or what is the color of Red Fort? So everyone can think, if anyone have visited to those places or anyone have seen the pictures or photographs of them, he can have an idea. Okay, Taj Mahal means its color is white. Lal Killa or Red Fort, it means it's reddish color. So these type of concepts comes in our mind. So image is nothing but a impression which stores in our mind. So if we think about this, we can have an idea of that. So image is a virtual entity or virtual concept of any photograph or picture. So what is a digital image? So if you categorize that particular image into a digital form which can be stored in any memory locations or any memory device, that is digital image. Okay, so digital image can be stored, and nowadays for this type of online and social media, digital image is very popular. Previously we used to have different type of cameras, we have to take photograph in films, we have to wash them, and we have to take print out those for the photo, having the photograph. But nowadays it's very easy. Okay, we can take lots of picture, we can store them in our memory. Different type of processings are there, they can be done through different type of softwares, different type of hardwares. So image, now digital image is very much popular. We used to send through email, we used to send through WhatsApp. So all these digital social medias are very much familiar with this type of digital images. So if you know about the definition, A digital image is a representation of two-dimensional image as a finite set of individual values called picture elements or pixels. So in the previous generation, where different type of image or photograph is printed either on photograph paper or different type of magazines or on the paper, so there was a very popular term which is known as DPI, dot per inch, DPI. So when we used to buy any type of printer, we were very much conscious about that DPI. That means how much dot is there. That means more dot means more clarity of the image. Less dot means less information, so less clarity of the image. Nowadays, that DPI has been converted into PPI. Now, what is PPI? PPI is pixel per inch. That means number of pixels, if it is greater in a particular area or unit inch, so there is more information. That means the image is more clear. And if there is less amount of pixel, the image quality is not so good. That means less information is there. Okay, so nowadays when we want to buy any type of digital camera, we used to see two things. One is how the zoom capacity, that means how far object can be captured by zooming that, and another is what is the megapixel of the camera, 2 megapixel, 3 megapixel, 10 megapixel, 20 megapixel. Not even for digital camera nowadays, on mobile phone we are having very good quality camera with higher megapixels. Okay, so 48 megapixel, 40 megapixel, 16 megapixel, so lots of variants are there. So we are very much conscious about this type of megapixels. So what do you mean by megapixels? Mega number of pixels are there in per unit area. That means 10 megapixels is very good, but 40 megapixel is better. 50 megapixel is more better. That means more pixels means more clarity and more information is there. If you took some picture of higher megapixel camera, using higher megapixel camera, so the image will be very much good quality. You can spread this or you can just enhance the quality. You can zoom in out, you can print it in a very big banner like that. Okay, but there must be, you have to have an idea that more informations require more space. So suppose you have taken an image using 10 megapixel camera and the same image you have taken using 40 megapixel camera, obviously the 40 megapixel camera image must be of higher size. So it will require higher memory location to store. So you have to keep in mind that not only the image quality, but also you have to think about the size. Now we have lots of discussions on that, but there is a term which is known as pixel. Now what do you mean by pixel? Pixel is the smallest entity of any digital image. This is the smallest building block. If you want to create or if you want to build any type of buildings, what do we require? We require small bricks or small stones to form this. If we want to design a memory device, then we require the smallest entity, that means the flip-flop, to design the memory devices. Like that, pixels are the smallest entity of any digital image. That means collections of pixels will form any type of digital images. Okay. Now, there we are also introduce a new term which is known as intensity. Now, what do you mean by intensity? Intensity means the amount of light which is coming to our eyes from that particular pixel. Okay, pixel means the smallest entity of any digital image, and intensity means the amount of light which is coming to our eyes from that particular pixel is known as the intensity. If less amount of light is coming, that will be dim. If more number of or very high amount of light is coming to our eyes, the particular pixel will be more bright or more clear. Okay, so intensity value is important. So for this, we are very much, this is very much understandable that a pixel has two parameters. One, its coordinate value, coordinate axis value, that means its positional information, and another is its intensity value. So if we want to have a pixel, that particular pixel should have two values. One, its positional information, and another is the intensity value. So here you can, and also a photograph fxy is represented through this FUV, where we can have that a particular corresponding this image, analog image, is converted into digital form, and the digital form is converted into this matrix. So digital image is nothing but a two-dimensional matrix. Those matrix have lots of pixels value, that means the positional information as well as the intensity value. Now if we represent, move to the second slide, representing image. So here you can see that image data structure is a 2D array of pixels values. Pixel values are gray level in range 0 to 255 or RGB colors. Array values can be any data type, be it byte, integer, float, double, etc. Why it has been written? Suppose if the image is only black and white, then all the pixels will be either 0 or 1. So that's why it should be an integer value. If it is grayscale, now grayscale is given by 0 is represented by black, 255 is represented by white. So in between, lots of values may be there. The values may be fractions also. So fraction value is also there. As we all know that array is collection of similar type of data. So it should be either bit, byte, integer, float, double, etc. This is about imaging system. So it's very important that we have to take the image, or we have to take the corresponding image of a particular object through or using any digital devices or digital camera. Now for that, what is very important, there must be some light source from where light is emitting or energy is emitting, and that is being incident on any object. After incidence of that particular light to that particular object, three things may be happen. One is some of the energy or some of the corresponding light may be absorbed, some of the light may be refracted, and some of the light may be reflected. Now the reflection is very much important here. To see any object, the phenomenon or reflection is very important. Without reflection, we cannot see any object. If all the lights passes through that particular object, that will be treated as transparent. We cannot see it. Okay. So depending on the opacity, that means what is the amount of the light is getting reflected, either we can see the object or the object may be invisible. So the first thing is there must be some light sources from where light should be incident on the object. Some amount of light must be reflected from that particular object. That object should be gone through any type of digital devices to form a digital image that is nothing but a digital matrix. Okay, so here you can see that as we are having the analog image to digital image conversion, digitization causes a digital image to become an approximation of the real scene, because we are having here is rectangular in size. So as more megapixels is there, it should not be affect so much, but for the less megapixel camera, it should be pixelite. That means as the pixels are also a square size, so it may be not so clear also. That means digitization is also means approximation of the real scene. We have to keep in mind. Now, common image formats includes, here we can say three. One is one values required per point per pixels for black and white or grayscale image. 3 values per point per pixels required for green, red, and blue, and 4 values per pixels is required with that RGB, that means red, green, blue, along alpha or opacity. Here, all the corresponding 3 examples has been given. The first one is the grayscale image. Next one is the corresponding RGB image. And the last one is RGBA, that means RGB with the alpha component, that means opacity of the corresponding image. These I have already mentioned. According to the intensity value, image may be of three types. One is binary image, another is grayscale image, and another is color image. Now, if the image pixels are represented by only zeros and ones, then that is known as black and white or binary image. It is also known as black and white or binary images. Okay, so you can see in the picture that only white and black dots are there. So white and black dots are representing the image. So it's not so clear, and you can say it's not at all clear. But if we move forward from this binary image to grayscale image, you can see a better quality. Yes, this is far more better than the previous one, and lots of details are there. So how it can be possible? It is possible because the values are not between zeros and ones, but it is lies between 0 to 55. That means 2 to the power 8 means total 256 number of shades are there. Here 0 is again represented by this black, and white is also represented by 255. So total 256 are there. So here you can see the image has lots of shades. Suppose you have a value of 56 or you have a value of 92. So that is a gray shade. You can say that is the gray shade close to black. So blackish gray, you can say. Whereas suppose you have a value of 186 or you have a value of suppose 252 or like that, 210, 210. So that is your whitish gray. That means the shade is close to white. So you have lots of options to represent any digital image in very better way. So it's very good. Now move forward to RGB. That means red, green, blue. This is the color model which is very much popular nowadays, and we used to took these pictures using this color. Now color means if you choose all separate component, that means R component, red component, green component, and blue component. If you took all of them, it will look like just a gray images or grayscale images. Now, if you superimpose all these three, then you can have these type of color images. Okay. Now, these color images, that means these RGB model color images, both have, you can see, are lies from 0 to 255 as a grayscale. Green also 0 to 255, and also you can say blue is 0 to 255. So all these are individually 0 to 255, but if you consider all of them together, then it will form a color image. Okay, so it's very clear to us. Move to the next slide. It is reflected light. As I mentioned, that there must be some source, okay, some light source or energy source from where light must be emitting, and that should be incident on any object. Now, if you consider color of a particular object, how it can be visible or how a human can perceive that type of color in our eyes. Okay, so the color human perceives are determined by nature of light reflected from an object. For example, if white light is incident onto green object, it absorbs most wavelengths and except the green wavelength. That means suppose there is an object of color green. If white color incident on that, why we are saying white color? Because white color have all the wavelength component together. That's why it is known as white light. That particular white light, if it incident on any object, so the object will absorb all the other wavelength except its color. Suppose it falls on green or red, then you only have the wavelength value that will be reflected green or red. So that's why we can see them. So here in an example, that light and electromagnetic spectrum in these two slides, you can easily see that some of the examples has been given where light and electromagnetic spectrum are there. Light is just a particular part of electromagnetic spectrum that can be said that it is light. The electromagnetic spectrum the wavelength of the energy. You can hear microwaves, then and X-ray. Okay, this is all about light and the electromagnetic spectrum. So here you can see also images can be formed from different types of radiations. So it has been given here from this example. You can have the idea of different type of radiation type wavelengths, approximations, different type of wavelengths, and most importantly, temperature of objects at which this radiation moves. Now again, I'm saying that images from different electromagnetic radiations, either image can be categorized into radar imaging, which is generated through magnetic imaging. It's important in biomedical. We common term for that is usually recognized by different type of magnetic resonance imaging, which is known as MRI. That is by radio waves. Then microwave imaging is there. Infrared imaging is there. Photographs, that means visual wavelength imaging is there. Ultraviolet imaging telescopes are there, which is used to identify different type of unknown objects in the space. Then again, biomedical fields, X-rays are there. That is also known as computed tomography, and this type of positron emissions of tomography, that means the gamma rays are there. And last of all, ultrasound, which is very much popular also in biomedical field or biomedical imaging, USG, that is known, that is also used here, but it is not EM wave. Moving forward to the next slide, which is the example of digital images. You can see there are 12 examples are there. That means 12 types of different types of digital images are there. The first one is very common, which we generally use to do through any type of digital camera, and that is represented by any type of either that you can print it out, or you can just store. So that is your natural landscape image. The next one is either you can use different type of graphics to generate different type of images, or you can draw different type of images. Those are categorized in synthetically generated. That means these things are not real. It is constructed or you have generated it, but that is also used by. So that's known as synthetically generated scene. You can prepare graphic. Okay. You can take type of screenshots either using your mobile or using your computer. So that is also known as either computer by screenshots. There and output is very much popular nowadays for any type of product you want to buy. This store is very popular. That these barcodes are very much popular. Then the fingerprint, which is nowadays a very popular, used to have the attendance as well as fingerprint is used several for different type of forensic purpose also. Then after that it is X-ray, which is used in biomedical field. Then microscope slides, which is also used for various tests and various laboratories. Then the satellite image, which is also very much important. Satellites is to take those images either for different type of informations or different type of weather forecasting. So the next one is radar image, and the last one is astronomical objects. That means these images all the time may not be exactly real, but they may be formed to different type of informations, or different type of informations can be gathered from these astronomical objects. Am I audible now? And everything is
because Kosi, there will be some problem with the sound.
yes.
Some problem with the sound, Kosi.
So you can hear me now?
Yes, hear me, but maybe sometimes it will be cut the sound. Sometimes the sound are not coming.
Okay, that may be any internet issues because the internet is not very much well established here now after Amphan, so that may be a reason. Otherwise, hope the slides
Uh,
are uh,
Slides and everything is okay. Just maybe your microphone, mic or something, just to check.
no,
Okay, okay. You continue. You continue. Like that.
okay. Thank you very much. I'm just taking the feedback because I'm saying so. If it is not reachable to you, that's why I thought I should ask you. Thank you very much
No,
for
no,
your
no,
feedback.
no. It's visible to us and sound is also audible. Everything proper.
Okay, thank you very much. So should I continue?
Yes, yes. You can continue.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we should come image file formats. That means as we have our name as well as our surname, so like that every file have its extension, isn't that? Suppose I am Kaushik. So if I have my biodata, that should be Kaushik.doc. Doc means document file. If I convert it into its equivalent PDF, then it will be Kaushik.pdf. If I have any MP3 file or audio file, that should be Kaushik.mp3. So like that, that means Kaushik.mp3 and Kaushik.doc should not be same. So from this extension, we can have an idea that whether it is either audio file or it is documented file or it is a picture file or not. So similarly, image has also separate type of this extension. So some of the extensions are here. That means depending on your requirement and depending on the use purpose, different type of formats are there. So the first one you can see is known as tagged image file format, or the abbreviated form is TIFF. The next one is GIF, graphics interchange format. Next one, PNG, portable network graphics format. Next one is JPG, BMP, and PBM, that means portable bitmap format. What is the full form of BMP? It is bitmap image, okay? And the last one is JPEG. The full form is Joint Photographic Expert Group. So there is a Joint Photographic Expert Group. They have given this name. Now, what is the advantage is this JPEG? JPEG is the image which have a less size with a good quality. So it's very popular nowadays. Now, image pixels values can be either 0 or 1 for binary image. I have already mentioned for grayscale, it should be 0 to 255, and for color, it should have 0 to 255 multiplied by 3 for R, G, and B. Okay. Now, if you consider about the digital size, as binary image has any single bit, either 0 or 1,
Yeah.
it should be 1. If it should be as it is 2 to the power 8, so 8 bit will require. And for color, I have already told, that's why 8 multiplied by 3 equals to 24 for RGB color.
Total how many strength? Mine is 40, 20, 22, 42. Mine is 42, sir. Sir is 41. Then 80, 83.
Hello? Are you saying something to me?
No.
Okay, thank you. Next one is how many bits per image elements are there, which is described here. You can easily see that how many bits per images per element. So as single bit is required for any binary image, the range should be 0 to 1 and 1 bits per pixels is required. For universals, that means for grayscale images, how many pixels bit per pixel is required? 8, and the range is 0 to 255. Like high quality, 12 bits may be required, then 14, then 16. So all these depends on the quality. More high quality means more number of bits required for per pixels, and the range has been also given. So first one is all for binary or grayscale image. The next one is for color image. You can see normally it is 24 bits per pixels as 8 multiplied by 3, as I mentioned. range is 0 to 255 Q, and it is used for photo, scan, print like this. This is known as RGB model. If you want higher quality, then you can see from the 24, it is increasing 36, 42, 32, like that to it. So these are all about the how many bits per image elements is required. Now, there is some human visual system. That means, so this we have eyes as a seeing object. That means through our eye, we can see any object. Now, we should have an idea about the structure of the human eye, which is also known as HVS system. That means human visual system. The lens, you can see here, the image, you can see in the first slide, you can see an image or structure of human eye. The lens focuses light from object into the retina. Retina covered with light receptors called cone cells and rod cells. So there are 6 to 7 millions of cone cells are there, and 75 to 150 millions rod cells are there. Now, what is the exact operations of cone cells and rod cells? Cones concentrated around the area or the particular area which is known as fovea, and this is very sensitive to color. Whereas rods more spread out and it is very sensitive to low illumination levels. Suppose there is less amount of light. In that case, the rod cells will be activated and they can help us to see something. When it happens, suppose if you are moving from very space having very much light to a space that is a very less amount of light, you can see in that particular moment you cannot see anything. It is very dark. But after staying some time there, you can see the image is getting clear and you can see something better than the previous moment. That means your rod cells are being activated and they are doing their job, and they are helping you to see in the low illumination or low source of light also. So in the next slide, you can see the two-dimensional view of human eye structure also with a view of 3D. So lots of spaces are there. You can see. So it's a purely biological terms. So lots of portions are there. You can see in case of 2D and 3D eyes. But some of the portions are very important for our purpose. We will just discuss on them. The first one is, you can see here a human eye, nearly a sphere with an average diameter of approximately 20 millimeter, is enclosed by 3 membranes. One is cornea, and next one is sclera, choroid, and the last one is a retina. Now, the cornea is a tough and transparent tissue covering the anterior surface of the eye, whereas the sclera is an opaque membrane enclosing the remainder of the total eye globe. The choroid contains blood vessels to supply these different type of nutrients to the eyes. It is heavily pigmented, and this is very much, it is divided into 2 parts, which is known as ciliary body and iris. Now, center, you can see center opening of iris known as pupil. It is about 2 to 8 millimeter in diameter. The front of iris is filled with visible pigments, and it's black with black. It is black with black pigments. The lens layers is having 60% to 70% of water, 6% fat, and the rest portions is protein. So that is highly yellowish pigmented. The retina is rich with, I have already mentioned, cones and rod cells, and you also know the operations of cones and rod cells. The cones number is 6 to 7 millions in count, are primarily located in the center of the retina, known as fovea. They are responsible for photopic, that means bright light vision or color vision. The rod cells, 75 to 150 millions in count, are distributed all over the retina. They are responsible for different type of dim light, that means low illumination light visions. Okay. An individual cone is concerned to as individual optical nerve and hence amounts of perceptions of the finger. There is also a term which is known as blind spot. Okay, so blind spot is entirely, this is the spot from where we cannot see anything because there is no any type of rod cells or cone cells. Now here is, you can see, if we want to take any type of visions through our eyes, what is the process here? You can see it is given that image formations in our eyes. So muscles in eye, you can see, can change the shape of the lens, allowing us focus on near or far object. That means always the focal length is not fixed. If you want to see some far object or some object which is nearer to you, you can adjust the focal length through different type of contraction or expansion of your muscles. So that can easily be visible here. An image is focused onto retina existing the rods and cone cells and send the signals to the brain, and if brain can recognize that thing, you can see the original thing. So eye is not a particular or standalone system by which you can see. This is a particular system through which this is an, you can say this is an imaging devices or imaging system through which you can have an idea, and that is recognized totally by through our brain. So in the next slide also you can see different type of image formations, how human can see, and what is the distance between the center of the lens and the retina is known as the focal length. Okay, and that is the equations has also be given how this focal length can be changed or that can be measured here. Again, if we see that what is an image and what is a digital image, that means what is the basic difference between an image and digital image, you can see a real image is captured by something or you can see it something, but if you want to store it, you have to make it digitized. That means you have to pixelate it, and that is that can be represented through different type of digital values or matrix. So here you can see it is clearly given. You can also read out from the slides that what is an image and what is a digital image. If we move forward, so pixels are very important, but are pixels alone? No, there are lots of pixels. So should they have any type of relation between them? Yes, they have relation between them. Pixels have lots of pixels adjacent to it. So if it considers 2 vertical and 2 horizontal pixels, then it is known as 4 connected. So if we consider the basic relationship between pixels, either it may be 4 connected, it may be 8 connected, it may be 6 connected. For 6 connected, the shape may be treated as the hexagonal, whereas for 4 connected and 8 connected, it may be treated as square. So the 4 connected and 8 connected is very much popular, and 6 connected is a little bit less popular. So a pixels with its 2 vertical and 2 horizontal pixels is known as 4 connected. Pixels with its 2 vertical, 2 horizontal and 4 diagonal is known as 8 connected. So here you can see that digital image resolutions, it's very important. That means we term different type of megapixels. So what is that? That means resolution. The main term is resolution. That means how much number of pixels is there per unit area. That is the resolution. So higher resolutions means what? More number of pixels are there in any unit area, and less resolution means less number of pixels are there in an unit area or per unit area. So what is the effect? More resolution means more information, means more clarity. Less resolution means less information and less clarity. Here you can see different type of pixels is given. One, the size is 1024, then 512, then 256, then 128, like that way. So you can see that if the size is 32 cross 32, the image is very small, and if it is 1024 multiplied by 1024, that means that is 1024 rows and 1024 columns. So you can see the image very clearly. So again, Here we are considering a binary image. So you can see the digital image resolution. Digital image with low resolution has low quality, and digital image with higher resolution has higher quality. So here you can see the lowest quality is 32 multiplied by 32 multiplied by 8. Why it is 8 is given? Because it is grayscale image. I have already mentioned. Now, if the resolution is 32 multiplied by 32, so you can see it's not so clear. It's some pixelite, that means some checkerboard effects is there, just like a chessboard. So it's not clear. So gradually the quality is being, you can see the quality is being good, and 1024 multiplied by 1024 multiplied by 8 is a very good quality of this grayscale image. So that means low resolution has low quality, high resolution has high quality. Now, if you consider about monochrome image model, what is that? So if you want to construct any type of image, you have to think about this image model. Okay. Now, and monochrome, or that may be either black and white image, is a 2D light intensity functions denoted as fxy. So fxy is the image function. Okay. Now, what is xy? Xy is the coordinate value. The values or amplitude f of the function at any spatial coordinates xy is the intensity of the image at that point. I've already mentioned this. As light is energy, the value is non-zero and it is finite. That means the amplitude value or the intensity value lies between 0 to infinite. Okay. So, and fxy has two components. One is ixy. That means the amount of light which is incident on any particular object. Rxy, which is the amount of reflected light which is being reflected from any object. I have already mentioned this earlier. Now we are trying to finding out the image function with some expression. So that's why we are using this. fxy is the image function. It is just the product of ixy and rxy, where ixy is the amount of light which is being incident on the object, and rxy the amount of light which is getting reflected from any object. Now what should be the range? The range of this particular incident I should be 0 to infinite, at this coming from any light sources or energy sources, but the reflected light range should be 0 to 1. Okay. So here also, if you consider any type of gray level, it should be 0 to capital L. Okay. That means L small l should be in between L minimum to L maximum. Now, if we want to convert any digital signals to its equivalent, any analog signals to its equivalent digital signals, so there is two very important steps we already know, that is sampling and quantization. So image processing is nothing but any type of signal processing. So EC students are a little bit familiar with different type of signal systems or digital signal processing. So what is the motto of that? To process any type of signal. Now, if you consider an image into image, if you consider any image into its equivalent signal form, then this digital signal processing and digital image processing can be very they can be similar. So sampling and quantization is very important. So here you can see, to obtain a digital image fxy, that must be digitized both in space as well as amplitude. Digitization of spatial coordinates is known as image sampling, whereas digitization of amplitude, that means amplitude, the intensity value, the gray level quantization is known. The image sampling is viewed as partitioning an image plane into a grid with coordinates of center to each grid, that is z cross z, whereas the gray level quantization is viewed as assigning a value from the real number of set r from the gray level to the each grid. In the next slide, you can see some examples of sample and quantization, where you can see that first one is, there is 4 images or 4 part of the images. One is generating a digital image. First one is continuous image. Next one is a scan line to A and B. We have taken. The third one is sampling and after the effect of sampling and quantization. And the last one is digital scan line. So if you want to convert any type of image from a continuous image. So the form has been given here. Now, there may be these quantization levels. So quantization levels are very much important. That means there may be a numerous number of values, but you have to make them some approximations. I have already told that digitization means approximations. So sampling and quantization is very much important. Now, what is the best quantization levels that has been given here? Either you can set them into 32 values, or 64 values, or 128 values levels, or 256 levels. Now, why they are so? Because we should take 2 to the power order, and the base resolutions or the conventional resolutions that we should take, we have already seen that may be either 32, 64, 128 to 56. So here also, if we choose 32 levels or 64 levels or 128 levels or 256 levels, so they are very much important and they are generally used. But you can see here 256 levels, if you use, that means more clarity should be there. If you use 32 level, you can see that is not so clear. There some are marks, some marks are there. So more levels means more clarity, but according to your requirement, that means if you want a less size of image, you can use less levels or less. If you want to have that particular image with low information, then you can use 32 levels. If you want to have very good quality or detailed image, then 56 levels can be used. You can see effect of digitization, where is lots of different levels are there. You can see the worst quality is 2. If you choose 2 levels, that means either 0 or 1. And the better one is 256. If you choose 256, you can see a detailed portions. That means it is, suppose if it is an X-ray image, it's very much clear to us. That means every details you can see here. So more number of levels in quantization levels will give you more clarity, whereas less will give you less clarity. So here also again some informations are there. You can see that effect of spatial resolutions. So less informations will give you the checkerboard effect. So these all about the sampling and quantization, because you want to convert any type of continuous image to its equivalent digital image. Here also some example as given. So this is 8-bit image. You can see it's very clear. And if you move from 8-bit to 4-bit, you can see some of the details are missing. If you move forward from 4 to 2, you can see lots more informations are missing. And if you move forward the 1-bit range, you can see it's not clear at all. Guys, it's 1 bit. Now there is a big question: how much is now? That means how continuously that resolutions the big questions can answer by depends on what in the image details. That means
Kofi, sound.
yes, I'm telling. Is there any problem?
No, now is okay.
Okay, some I think in some portions it may be okay. Now is it clear?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So moving forward to the next slide, you can see digital resolutions means higher resolutions will give you the higher clarity, and less resolution will give you less clarity. Again, I'm giving the example that you can see that digital image resolution is less, where the image is not good at all. It is pixelite, whereas more resolution means more clarity of the image. Okay, now I have already mentioned that how much resolution is enough. Here I have used 2 images. Okay, now if you just see the right image without seeing the left image, it's very much good, pretty good. You can easily find out that, you can easily recognize what is that. It's a car. Okay, there are 4 number of cars you can see. Okay, three numbers are very some of the portions you can see, and there is a one car whose entire portions you can see. So there are four cars. Okay, so you can see it's running on the road. In the divide, there is a divider, there is a footpath, and some of the stores are also there. So it's very clear to see. If you don't see the left side image, the right side image is good enough. But if you see the left side image, then if you compare between them, the left one is much more clear than the right one. Isn't that? So in this purpose, you can see the right one is much good, the left one is much good than the right one. So higher resolution will give you higher clarity. It's very clear. Now, depending on your requirement, as I have already mentioned, from the right image, you can see anything, but you cannot see what? You cannot see the number of the car in the number plate. So if you want to see the number of the car from the number plate, then the left side image is required. You can see, if you zoom in, you can see the number. Yes, it's 737FLY. So it's very clear to us if the resolution is, but you can, if you zoom in here, if you zoom in, you cannot see the corresponding page. So you cannot see the corresponding images. So it's very much important which is the purpose or what is your purpose. For normal purpose, you can use less resolution image, but for this type of image recognition, that means if you want to know the number plate, what is the number in the plate, then you can use this type of clear image. Next is intensity level resolution. So you can see here, if you took any close-up image, so less or low details may be required. But if you take some images having foreground or background, lots of informations are required, lots of objects are there. In case of either you can see or you can use medium detail image or high detail image. Here, three examples has been given. One image with low details, the medium one is with medium details, and the right one with high details. So why the right one is required high details? Because lots of objects are there, a lot of details are there. So if you recognize them individually, you must require high details or high definition image. We start.
Yes.
So next is what is image processing? Thing is that if you want to
Kaushik, another 5 minutes to conclude.
Yes.
Another 5 minutes to conclude.
Oh, within 5 minutes I have to conclude, isn't that?
Yes.
Thank you, no problem. I'll try definitely. So image processing is a very important, which requires, that means it involves improvement of pictorial informations for human interpretations, process of the image data for storage. That means if you want to enhance the quality of the image, then image processing is required. If you want to reduce the size of the image for storage, then this image processing is required. If you want to create different type of image from one to another, then also you require this type of images. Now, for these cases, here the system have image input and the output is also image. Okay. Now, three types of digital image processing may be there. One is image to image transformation. That means you have raw image. That image may be transmitted or transferred into another image. You have some images that may be transferred into different, or that may be different type of feature may be extracted from that image. You have some informations. You can develop some image from them, that particular information. Okay. How that can be possible? If I say the dimension of the image, and if I say which pixels have which values, if you have those informations, you can easily develop some image. So these three type, image to image, image to information, information to image, these three type can be possible. Now the basic block diagram of digital image processing is here. It's very important. The first step is image acquisition. What do you mean by image acquisition? If you want to do processing on some image, you have to acquire that particular image. You have to collect that image. Collections of that particular image is known as image acquisition. If you can use your digital camera to have the image, you can use different type of imaging system like X-ray, MRI, CT scan to have the biomedical images. All they are connected. Now, before going to the processing, you should have nominal or minimal corrections. Those are known as pre-processing. So after image acquisition, you should go for pre-processing, then your main processing. And this main processing, after this main processing, you can extract different type of features after this processing. And after these feature extractions, you can have either image data or processed image. And that can be either displayed or that can be stored. Now you have two entities. One is some information from the image that is known as image data. And after processing the image, having the processed image. Okay, so lots of process are there. I will just move forward. This is the slide from where you can have an idea. I'll just give you the brief descriptions of this and I will conclude them. So this is, you can see key steps of digital images. First, we have to acquire the image. I have already mentioned from problem domain. Then if you want to enhance the quality of the image using different type of filters, which is also known as image enhancement. Now, if there is some problem in the image or some discontinuity in image, you can store them or you can stop the image. So you can use the separate it out. So segmentation where some options from input and describe the responsibility. Whether it is a group, whether it is an object, whether it is a human. So that can be recognized through this image processing, which is known as image recognitions. You can use these either for grayscale image or color image. So if you use the color image, which is also known as color image processing, and the last one is image compression. I've already mentioned image compression is a very important term because there is two terms, which is size and dimension. Dimension means the length and the breadth of the image, and size means what is the occupancy in the memory location. That may be kilobyte, megabyte, like that. So if you are using higher megapixels camera, more number of megapixels are there, so it will have more size. But if you want to if you have less amount of memory stored, then you can use this image compression. So nowadays it's very much popular because we used to send lots of images through WhatsApp, mail, or different type of social medias. So in that case, image compression is widely used. It's very important. I have already mentioned JPEG. So JPEG is the format by which you can compress an entire image into a very small size that can be easily to store. More number of images can be stored in the memory location, and it's also very easier to transmit also. So lots of slides are there, which if the time is not sufficient, so that's why I will just move to my last slide, which is the references. I have used all these books to develop this type of presentations, and thank you very much. So I want to conclude here. So again, I am very much thankful to Vignan of and also express HPC, Professor Vijay, and our respective institution. Thank you.
Hello.
Kaushik.
Hello. Sir, audible myself? Hello.
Kaushik, HOD sir is talking.
Yes, I can
Audible?
hear you, sir.
Yeah, sir. Kaushik, sir. Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you for your precious time and giving us time for delivering this webinar. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving me the opportunity to present this webinar. I am also very thankful to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Kaushik.
Okay, thank you, sir. So should I sign off from here?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye.
हाँ. But maybe he is told something.
General view and all these things, block diagram.